Hey YouTube, De-bodgery here. Update on the 20-inch Dayton drill press. So first thing I want to say is, if you're using a little drill press, you can make them work. Hey, I did. But I am way thrilled with having a decent big one. You know, the beef of the machine, the size of the table, how stable it is, the movement in the quill, so on and so forth. Everything about this thing makes my old Craftsman look like a toy. And it was a, floor model. Anyway, very happy with the drill press. I've made some changes. So first thing I did was this little platform used to be on the bottom of these blocks right here. So it hung down lower, and then of course the blocks were lower. So I modified the blocks to clamp around the bottom of the casting and part way around the column. So that raised it up as high as it would go. And then with the table on top rather than on the bottom, it got this to just a 1/4 inch underneath the drill motor. So kind of freed this up vertically speaking a little bit. And then I added a block up underneath here that the LED light goes on. So that got that off of, because it used to be clamped right here too. And then now, right here, I haven't built it yet, but across the back there'll be a hinge, and then there'll be a latch on the front, and then there will be a drawer kind of a thing that will fold out like this. I'll have pockets in it, and I will put all that crap in it. So I'll have nice little compartments in there for things. But that'll come later, and it'll probably be, I don't know, 2 inches deep or so. So all that space I just gained, I'll take it back, but that's okay. But anyway, yeah, I have a nice little area in there, like about that deep. I can put all that stuff in and keep it from rattling around on my drill boxes. So that'll come here shortly. Something else I did, and I used this for like a month, and then I made a decision to do something else to the drill press. So I added power over here so that the wall wart could plug in here for the lights. And that was great, worked fine, I was happy with that. But then I decided I needed a micro adjuster for the quill. And this is the place to put it right there. So the wall wart was in the way. So anyway, I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to use a piece of threaded shaft that's got M10x1 threads on it for right here, and I found a little right angle drill, with 1/4 inch ends on it that will fit right here. It's all aluminum with steel and bearings and stuff, and I'll have a knob out the front that I can turn that will turn that screw up and down and give me micro adjustment on the quill. Anyway, right here there will be a little block. The back half will be screwed to the casting, and the front half will be hinged. The back half will have a 10mm half circle in it, smooth. The front half will have M10x1 threads in it. So you swing it out, the threads are disengaged, now you can just use the quill up and down, everything just slides by. Close it up, lock it, and now the threads engage the threaded rod. And now you can use the micro adjust to turn the knob and raise the quill up and down. Anyway, there'll be a block that screws onto the side of here that engages the other end of the shaft, or the other end of the threaded rod. And I'm waiting for this too, so I've got thrust bearings coming, and so that that threaded rod will spin in the block that's on here. It'll just be retained on those thrust bearings with nuts, and that way the whole thing can turn. The threaded rod can thread up and down and spin right there, and yet still move the quill up and down. So that's going to go there. Waiting for parts. That'll be here soon enough. They're all ordered. All right. So since power had to move, well, I moved it. So I should have done this to begin with. But here's my wall wart. I don't know how it shows up, but yeah, the outlet, I tucked it up nice and high, which means that my wall wart is nice and tucked in right underneath the pulley housing. Much better place. This used to be 2 wall warts. The LED lights, they both had their own, little AC adapter built onto the cord, and halfway up the cord from this and the light was a little box with a rocker switch in it. Well, I took one of these things apart because I was just curious what was inside it, and the little circuit board inside there was like the size of my thumbnail, slightly bigger. It was a little tiny thing. I went, well, this is stupid, because the entire box was empty except for that little tiny board inside there. So I took the little boxes that had the rocker switches apart, took the board out of the other one, put all that stuff in one box, closed it all back up so both cords come out, and now I've got 2 switches on here, turns both lights off, single outlet, and then put longer cords, so they're about like 4 feet long now rather than like 3 feet. So anyway, yeah, both lights are right in there, and it's all into one wall wart, and switches are nice and convenient and handy. So that was definitely good. And of course, this light over here, I added a little block right there so I could clamp that. Because the way I had it before was around the thickness of this piece of 2x4, and the jaws were so wide that sometimes this would pop off. So anyway, that fixed that problem. Okay, last thing to talk about is micrometer. If you're looking for a decent micrometer, and this is a 6-inch, and it is specifically an eye gauging fastener cowl micrometer. If you're looking for a decent micrometer, and it's $35, and it works super well, and there's some things about it that I absolutely adore. Buy these eye gauging fastener cowl micrometers. Thrilled to death with it. Works well, didn't cost a fortune, and is definitely a hell of a lot better than the Chinese shit toe things that I was using before. You know, Sun Wang Hung whatever micrometer for $12, which, you know, they last you a year, then they start glitching, you take it apart, put it back together again, it works a little bit, then it glitches some more, and finally you just throw it away because it's shit. Whereas these aren't. They work. They're IP60 or IP54. The LCDs are really easy to read. Everything about this thing is, well, leagues above. Let's just put it that way. It was definitely a worthwhile $35 purchase. All right, so there is a thing about this thing that I really, really, really like, and that is it has memory. So right now it's off. I turn it on, and you can see it says 34.59 millimeters, or negative 35.59. And that's because it used to be the quill was something like down there, and that's where I had my 0 set. And then when the quill went all the way up, it knows that from that 0 position, it has now gone backwards 34.59 millimeters. So the micrometer shuts off, and I'll do that, shut it off. So you see 34.59, turn it off, and turn it back on, and I move the quill, turn it back on again, and now it says 3.3 millimeters. It's because the damn thing knows where it was last. It remembers. It knows where its 0 position was, and it knows where it is now. Even when it's off, it knows all that shit. And it still does this and doesn't kill its battery. So fantastic, awesome. And also, so I'm going to pretend like that's my 0 spot. And, you know, of course, it's going to, you know, keep that as my absolute 0 position up and down. And so, like, now I'm showing, well, here we go. So there we go, 40.23 millimeters, turn it off, move, you know, now I'm totally retracted, turn it back on again, and now it knows it's moved. I mean, that's brilliant. I can't tell you how many times this is shut off because I'm doing some operation, and I hit the button, turn it back on again, and it remembers exactly where it left off. That's just absolutely brilliant. Love that, and a lot of your cheapies don't do that. They just, you know, lose their mind when they power off. And this one doesn't. It just absolutely knows where it is, where it left off, and keeps that information. I've been pretty happy with the way that micrometer has worked. Just absolutely thrilled to death. It's nice and secure. It always does exactly what I want. The jaws in these things are ridiculously hard. I tried to drill the jaws, which is some kind of a stainless steel, with high-speed steel drills. Wouldn't touch it. In fact, it dulled the drill bit. So I resharpened the drill, tried again. Nope, still wouldn't get it. Just a little tiny dent in the jaws. So I went and found or pulled out one of my carbide drills, and then that cut it. But yeah, high speed wouldn't do it. So yeah, I've got two M3 screws in the top and M3 in the bottom, and an M4 that screws into the quill, holding those jaws on there. Like the micrometer. Yeah, if you're looking for something that's a reasonable price, that works and works really well, these fastener cowl eye gauging micrometers are the bomb. All right, a couple other things I've done as well. So I have made a cabinet underneath the drill, and I'll talk about the front in a second. So the top, where I've got all my tables and shit, I don't know how that shows up back there, but the top is about a 1/2 inch low from the top of the casting, and that way the underside of the table completely clears. It can still travel its full length, if I need it, and the cabinet is still all there. And if I do need that much height, I can always move my tables off of here. But yeah, that gives me full travel off the table, and yet I've got this nice big storage space. So what's happening in here is this little skinny space is directly in front of the column, and that's 16 inches deep, and I'll put a vertical drawer inside here that'll have, compartments and holes for putting drill bits or whatever in it. So, that'll get like small miscellaneous drills and things. Down here, I'll put a drawer, and the same on left and right side, like 8 inch deep, and then leave about 3 inches for a shallow drawer on the top. So that'll go in here. I just put this together, whatever it was, last weekend. Haven't made the drawers yet, but that'll get in there. So that's kind of a cool thing. Gives me lots of storage. Put lots of crap in there because, well, I have lots of crap. Like, there's my drills. There's other drill bits. There's lots of other drill bits and, diamond wheels and shit. And, like up here, there's a bunch of stuff that are all drill-related things. And, well, that stuff won't go in there. But, I've got hold-down kits and bolts and things that all need a place to go, and instead they just kind of like sit. So anyway, all that stuff will go in something very soon, like a drawer. Well, anyway, this is De-bodgery saying, stay away from the SARS virus. Don't let your body get sick with the COVID-19 disease, which is the name of the disease that the SARS virus creates in the human body. Stay away from those things, stay well, stay healthy, and take care.